as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ-1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ-1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now, this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ-1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ-1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt power to 128. I have the PTZ-1 camera control tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom. I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ-1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ-1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now, this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ-1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ-1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ-1 camera selected in input 1. Now, when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom. I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ-1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. I sold with you to tell you the NewTek NDI camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one network cable to each camera, video, audio, remote, tally lights, and power. Not using the new TriCaster, but you can use the NDI video system or application with the camera. I have the TriCaster and PT1 connected to a network. There are two ways you can power the camera. The included external power supply or single hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 328 feet. Now with the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera select and input 1. Now come down here to the PTZ control tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I change focus, as well as and change the white balance. And save it as preset in the camera and recall them to shot light. Each of these settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want more control during a live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera multi-camera production system, there's a simple and elegant way to produce live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and Hi, Rex with NewTek to tell you about using the new NDI camera with video production system or application. This is the benefit of a multi-camera production that only having to run one single network cable, video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any video production system or application with the camera. Both camera and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external supply or for single cable hookup using an power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt that power the camera up to 100 meters or 128 feet. On the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected one. I can here the PTZ tab, adjust pencil, zoom, focus, iris, and save it all preset in the camera and hold dot selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved as itself, not a production system. So if you want more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this, you can control your cameras separately from your system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using a PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having one single network cable each camera, video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI video production system or application. PTZ1 camera, I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either included external power supply or single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 308 feet. Over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now I come here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And save it all as a preset in camera and recall them in that selector. Each camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this, you can control your camera separately from your mix system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on a computer, saved as presets to the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce live video mix for all sorts of projects. Visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production or mix application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production, only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 connected to a gigabit network router. Now two ways you can power, either with the internal power supply or single cable using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for 100 meters, 128 feet. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris and pink balance. And save it as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot sector. Each camera settings are actually saved to preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. Now with this setup, you control your camera separate from mix system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as preset to the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, control, and I'm NewTek. You can use any enabled system or application with the PTZ camera, a TriCaster, and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with include external power or for single cable hookup using an option over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Over in the TriCaster, I have the PTZ camera input 1. Now when I come down here to PTZ control, I can just tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as iris and balance. And then save it all in the camera, and then shot selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a audio mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and Hi, Olson with NewTek. It's about using NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. It'll give you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster, but you can use any AI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit power supply or hookup using optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, on TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 selected for 1. Now, when I come down here to the PTZ tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, focus, as well as the iris and white balance, and install as a preset in the camera, and then we call them selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So, if you want even more control during a live production, use the web configuration page on the second computer. With this app, you can control your cameras separate from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be on one computer, saves presets camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the NewTek NDI, the video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with me having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use the NDI-enabled video system or application with PTZ1 camera. Both TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included extra power supply or for simple hookup using an power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters, 328 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Going down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so you can change the focus, as well as iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall the selector. Now, each of these camera settings really save to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. You can control cameras separately from mix system. Position and camera adjustments can be on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera video production or mixing application. Now, this gives you the benefit of a camera with only having one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use an enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now, there are two ways to power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt that will power the camera for up to 100 meters, 328 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected in input 1. Now, when I come down to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these cameras are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control in live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your camera separately from your position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then called from the production system. Using the NewTek camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple, economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rexall with using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 video production system or mixing application. Now this gives the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, remote control, lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but use any NDI-enabled video production or application with PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with included external power supply or single cable using an optional power Ethernet injector. This is a 20-watt injector that will power the camera for 200 meters or 28 feet. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected. Now I'm here PTZ control tab. I can pan, tilt, zoom, focus, as well as iris and change mouse. And then save a preset in the camera and recall the shot selector. Now, each of the camera sets are saved to presets in the camera in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on the computer. For this setup, you can control the camera separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made in one save as the camera and then recall the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce live video mix for all sorts of products. For more, visit .com and look for NDI on social media and the web. Hi, Rexall with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. It gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. With the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there's you can power the camera either with included power or single cable hook using a power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 50-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now over the Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected input 1. Now come down here to the PTZ tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom. So I can change the focus, and change the white balance. And save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. With it, you can control your camera separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saved as presets to camera, and then called from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera system offers an economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of products. For more, visit NewTek.com and look for Central social media and the web. Hi, Rexall with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power or for single cable hookup using a power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 50-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 320 feet. On the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera in input 1. Now I come here to the PTZ control tab. I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, close the iris, and change the white balance. And then it all is set in the camera, and then recall them in the selector. Each of the camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, and the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. To set up, you control cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers an economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit NewTek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rexall with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now that gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote, tally lights, and power. Using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. The TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera with the included external power plug or for single cable hook using an optional over Ethernet injector. This is a 50-watt injector to power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, over the Mini, I have PTZ camera selected in input 1. Now, come down here to the PTZ control tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, close the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all in the camera and recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. Now, this setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saves presets to the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the new PT1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for ND Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the AI video production system or mixing application. Let's get a bit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, LED lights, and power. Now I'm using the new TriCaster. You using NDI-enabled video production system with PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with included external power supply or full cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that powers the camera up to 100 meters, 328 feet. The TriCaster Mini have the PTZ1 selected input. Now when I come here to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then all is a preset in the camera, and then we call them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with setup, you can control your camera separately from the system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix all sorts of projects. For more, visit tech.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Using the NewTek NDI P1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote, lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use any AI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to gigabit network. The two ways you power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for cable hookup using an optional Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters to 28 feet. Over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PT1 camera selected in input. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, and change the white balance. And leave it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shutter. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the system. So if you want even more control in a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. This setup, you can control cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for ND Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek AI PTZ1 camera with a system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, LED lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI and video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. I have TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you power the camera, either with the included external power or for single cable hookup, use optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 320. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and call them in the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want to control during election, you can use a web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing them. Position of camera adjustments can be made one saved as the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PT1 camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple, economical way to produce a live mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio control, LED lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI video production system application with PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a network router. Now, there are ways you can power the camera, either with included external supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now, when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the dot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from the system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers us an economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with video production or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera, video, audio, control, lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek Caster Mini, but any NDI system with the camera. I have both the TriCaster and the Z1 camera connected to a gigabit network. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external supply or for single cable hookup using optional power Ethernet injector. Now this is inject power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320. Now for Caster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And set all as a preset in the camera, and we call them in the selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved preset to the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-production with only having one single net cable each for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now you can power the camera either with the external power supply or for cable hookup using optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt that will power the camera up to 100 meters, 828 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ camera selected in input 1. Down here to the PTZ tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, change focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it in the camera, and then recall the shutter. Camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera, not in the production system. So if you want to control during live production, use the web page on computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made in one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then called from the system. Using NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers a simple and economical way to do a live video mix. Also, for more, visit newtek.com and learn NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production, only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek Mini, but you can use the NDI video production system or application with one camera. I have a TriCaster and the camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways of the camera, either include external power supply, single cable hookup, optional power over Ethernet. This is a 40-watt injector with the camera for up to 28 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input. Now, here, I can tilt, zoom, change the focus, as well as iris and white balance. And then save it all in the camera, and we call them in the shutter. Now, each of these camera settings actually save presets in the production system. So if you want even control during action, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. With this setup, you can control your separately. The other camera adjustments can be made in one computer, save presets to the camera, and then called from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-production, only having to run one single cable each camera, video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Using the NewTek Caster Mini, you can use the AI-enabled video production system application with the PTZ1 with the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are ways you can power the camera, either included external power supply or for single cable hookup, an optional power injector. Now, this is a 40-watt to power the camera for up to 100 meters or 8 feet. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected input 1. I come in here to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, the focus, as well as iris, and change light balance. And then save it as a preset in the camera and recall them. Each of these cameras are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you have even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera and system. Using one camera system offers us an economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. Visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social and the web. To tell you about using NewTek PTZ1 camera with a production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with to run one single cable, video, remote control, lights, and power. Now this NewTek TriCaster Mini. You can use any NDI vision center with PTZ camera, the tracer and the camera connected to a good network power. Now there are two ways to camera, either included external power plug or single cable. It's an optional power Ethernet injector. Now this injector will put the camera for up to 100 meters, 320 feet. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ camera selected and put one. When I come to the PTZ tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris and the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, then recall from the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with setup, you can control your camera separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer and be called for purchase. Using the PTZ camera multi-camera system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with tell you about the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with video production system or mixing application. Gives you the benefit of multi-camera production, only having on one single cable each camera, video, remote control, and power. I'm using NewTek TriCaster Mini. Use an NDI video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have the caster and the PTZ1 camera connected to gigabit network router. There are ways you can power the camera, either with included power supply or for single cable hookup, using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector to power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected and input 1. Down here to the PTZ tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so against the focus, as well as the iris and angles. And then save all as preset in the camera. They call them in shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera, not in the production system. So if you have even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to live videos for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 camera, video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera, video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini. But you can use any ND-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with included external power supply or for single cable hook using an optional power or Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt camera for up 100 meters, 320 feet. Now over in the TriCaster, I have the PTZ1 selected input 1. Now when I go down to the PTZ tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so you can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And see it all is preset in the camera, and then call the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved to preset itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your camera separately from the mixing system. Position other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to camera, and then called from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and the NewTek TriCaster Mini. But you can use NDI video production system application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera into a gigabit network. Two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet. Now this is a 40-watt injector that can for up to 3 TriCaster Mini. I have a PTZ selected 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ tab, I can tilt, zoom, so I can focus, and balance. Save all preset and then the shot. She say to scan the person more. You can control your separate system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then called from the system. Using NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Rex with Tech about the new NDI camera, the video production system or application that of a person with only run one cylinder cable camera for video, audio, remote control, tele and power. Now I'm using the new Tech Mini, but you use an NDI video production for application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera to a gigabit network. Now, two-way power the camera, either the included external power supply, single cable up, using an optional power net injector. This is what will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 38 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster, I have the PTZ1 camera select an input. Now, down here to PTZ control tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so change the as was the iris, and change the white balance. Save it all as a preset in the camera, and then call in the shutter. Each of these camera settings are presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. If you want even more control during a live production, use the web configuration page on the computer. With this setup, your camera's separate system. Position and a camera adjust can be made on one computer, saved as a piece of the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera multi-camera system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Control on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about the NewTek ND PTZ camera with video production system or application. This gives the benefit of production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 4 injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I go down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, the iris, and lights, and then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the dot selector. Each camera settings are actually saved to preset in the camera itself in the production system. So if you want more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. This setup, you can control your cameras separately from the system. And other camera adjustments be made under save presets to the camera and called from production system. The new PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of camera with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, you use any ND-enabled video production system with the PTZ1 camera. I have both TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with included external supply or for cable hookup. Use a power injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power for 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, when you have the PTZ1 camera selected, come down here to the PTZ control. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. It all is a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. With this setup, you control your cameras separately from the mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with production system or mixing application. Now this gives you then a multi-camera production with only having one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote tally light, and power. Using the new TriCaster Mini, but you can use NDI-enabled production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup, use an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can zoom, as well as the iris, and the white balance, and then save it in the camera, then put them in the dot selector. Each of the camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on second computer. Setup, you control your camera separately from the mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers an economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. About using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with video system or mixing application. That's the benefit of a multi-camera with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system application with PTZ camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector will power the camera for up to 128 feet. Now over in the dashboard, I have the P1 camera selected input. Now when I come down here, PTZ control tab, I just hand, tilt, zoom, change focus, as well as iris, and change the balance. And they as a preset in the camera, and then recall shot selector. These camera settings are actually saved preset in the camera itself, not a production system. So if you want even more control during live, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from mixing system. Position announcements can be made on one computer, set to the camera, and then recall production. Using the P1 camera with the system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. About using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a production system or mix application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production, only having to run one single network to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ camera. I have the TriCaster PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with an external power supply or for cable hookup, an option over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will come for up to 100 meters, 328 feet. I have the PTZ camera selected for one. Under to the control tab, I can just hand, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as iris, and change the white balance. And then save it a preset in the camera, and then call from the shot selector. The camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. This setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position other cameras can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but use any NDI video production system or app with PTZ camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways to power include power or full cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet. Now this is a 40-watt injector power the camera to 100 meters, 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input, and down here to the PTZ control tab, I could just hand, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system application with PTZ camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either include external power supply or cable hookup using an power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I'm down here to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall the selector. Each of these camera settings are saved presets in the camera itself, not in the system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the configuration page on a computer. Now with that, you control your cameras separately from your mix system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the system. Use PT1 camera multi-production way to do all sorts of for more NewTech.com and look for ND Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTech to tell you using NDI PTZ with a video production system or making application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, and power. Now using the NewTech TriCaster use any ND-enabled video production system with the PTZ1 camera. I have and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network. Now, two ways you can power the camera, either with the included extra power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power or Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. When I come here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the lights, and set it all to set in the camera, and then call the selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with setup, you control your cameras separately from your mix system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTech PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, tech.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Wilson NewTech. Tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 camera with a or application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production. Only run one single cable to each camera for audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now I use the NewTech TriCaster Mini. You can use an API-enabled video production application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ1 are connected to a gigabit network. There are two ways you can power the camera, either include internal power supply or for single cable using an optional power over Ethernet. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected in one. Now I come in here to the control tab. I can pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the whites, and save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during the production, use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and adjust your save to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTech PTZ1 camera, a multi-camera production system, offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit NewTech.com and look for ND Central on social media and the web. Rex NewTech. It's the NewTech NDI PTZ1 camera, the video production system or application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having one single cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. I'm using Tech TriCaster Mini, but you can use any enabled video system or application, the PTZ1. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a net router. There are two ways to camera, either with the included extra power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over injector. This is a free injector that will run for 2 meters or 328 feet. Now with the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera input 1. Now I can hear PTZ tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as the iris, and change the light balance. And then also preset in the camera, and then recall the shot selector. Each camera setting say preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this up, you can control your camera separately for a mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, recalled from the production system. Using NewTech PTZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers us an economical way to produce live video mix for all projects. For more, visit NewTech.com and look for NDI Central on social media. Hi, I'm NewTech. About using the NDI PTZ1 video production or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, remote control, lights, and power. Using the NewTech TriCaster Mini, you can use any NDI-enabled video production system application with PTZ1 camera, both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways to power the camera, either with the included external supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters, 328 feet. Over TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera in input 1. Now I come down here to PT control tab, I can pan, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as iris, and change balance. And then save all as in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not a production system. So if you want more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTech PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, Visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex NewTek. Using PT1 camera with a production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having to run one signal to each camera for video, audio, remote control, telelights, and power. Now I'm using NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any enabled video production system application with the Z1 camera. I have both TriCaster and the PC camera with network. External power supply will hook up. Optional power Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters. In the TriCaster Mini, I have the camera select in input 1. Now here to the control tab, let's change focus, the iris, and change the balance. And then all is a preset camera, and then call it. Now each camera settings are actually presets in itself, not in the production system. So if you want more conduction, you can use the configuration page on the With this, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments be made on the computer, save as presets to the camera, and then be called on the system. Using a camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video also projects. For more, visit newtek.com and on social media. Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about using the PT1 productions and mixing application. Now the benefit of multi-camera production with only having one cable to each camera for video, control, telelights, and power. TriCaster Mini, but you use an NDI-enabled video production or action with the TZ1 camera. TriCaster and the TZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you power the camera, either with included external power supply or single using an optional overhead injector. This is a light injector that will power the camera for meters or 328 feet. Now with TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 selected in input 1. Now I come down here to PTZ control, I just pan, tilt, zoom, you can change focus as well and change the balance. And set that camera and recall them in the selector. Now each of these settings actually say to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web connection page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from the system. And other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then the production system. Using the NewTek PZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers a simple and economical way to produce video mix for all sorts of projects. newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex NewTek to tell you about the NewTek NDI PT camera, the video production mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of camera production, only having one single net cable each camera for audio, remote control, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek Mini, but you can use any NDI video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have TriCaster and PTZ1 connected to a gigabit router. There are two ways you can power, either with the included external power supply, single hookup, using an optional power over Ethernet. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for to 100 meters or 300 feet. TriCaster Mini, I have selected input 1. Here to the PT control tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, set the focus, the iris, and change the balance. And set a preset in camera, and then even shots. These settings are actually saved to presets in the camera, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now set up, you get your cameras in your system. Adjustments can be made on one computer, save sets to the camera, and then recalled for production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera system offers us an economic way to live video all sorts of projects. Or visit newtek.com, look for NDI Central and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Take the NewTek PT1 camera with a video production system or application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having run one single net cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, telelights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both TriCaster and TZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera with the included external power supply, or for using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt power camera of 200 meters, 328 feet. Now over the camera, you have the PTZ1 camera selected in input. When I come down here to the PT control tab, I can just zoom, change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save all as a preset in the camera and recall them in the shot selector. Now each of these cameras are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use web configuration on a second computer. Setup, you control your cameras by your mixing. Put camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saves presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production offers a simple and elegant way to produce live video for all subjects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson NewTek to tell you about the NewTek PTZ camera production system or mixing application. Now this is the benefit of a multi-camera production with only to run one single net cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, telelights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production or application with the PT1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with included external power supply or for single cable hookup using power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters, 320 feet. Over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the camera selected in one. Now, when I come in here to the control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as this and the white balance. And then save the camera, and then install them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the system. So if you want even more control during live, use the web configuration page on the computer. Now, with this up, you can control your camera separately from the mixing system. Position another camera adjustments made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, then recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with camera prism offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for India on social media and the web. Olson with NewTek about using NewTek PTZ with a video system or application. This gives you benefit of multi-camera production without having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now, I'm using NewTek Caddy, but you use AI-enabled video system or action with PTZ1 camera. Both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 are connected to a gigabit network router. There are two power the camera, either with the included power supply or for single cable hookup, is an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Come down here to the PTZ trap, just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as this, and change the balance. And this it all as a preset in the camera, and recall the shot selector. Now, each of these cameras are actually presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. And with this app, you can control your camera from your mix system. Position of the camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to live video mix for all projects. For more, visit newtek.com. Look for it on social media and the web. Rex Olson with NewTek. To the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera video production system mixing application gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single net cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and I'm using the NewTek TriCaster, but you can use any NDI and video production application with PTZ1 camera. I have TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two power the camera, either with the included external power supply or single cable hookup, and I'll power Ethernet injector. This is a 4 that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, with the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in 1. Now, when I go down here to the control tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And it also preset in camera, and then recall the selector. Each of the camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during production, you can use the configuration page on the second computer. Now, with that, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position another camera adjustment on one, save presets to the, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 multi-camera production system offers a simple, economical way to live video mix for all projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having on one single network to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use NDI-enabled video production application with PTZ1. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup, use an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected input 1. I come here to the PTZ control tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can focus, as well as eyes, and choose the white balance. And save it all as a pre-camera, and recall the shot selector. Now, each of these cameras actually save presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want more control during production, use the web configuration page on a second computer. With that up, you can treat separately from your system. Position and other adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets of the camera, and called from. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to do live mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on media and the web. Hi, Rex with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera video production system mix application. This gives you a multi-camera production with only run one network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, I'm using the new TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled production system or with PTZ1 camera. The TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a network router. There is you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hook using an actual power over Ethernet injector. This is a 4 injector that will power the camera to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, on the TriCaster Mini, I have P1 cameras in input 1. Now, when I come in here, easy tab, I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris and channels. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall the shot selector. Now, each of these cameras are saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can configure this separately from your mixing system. And other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as preset to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with video production system or mixing application. Now this is a fit multi-camera production with only run one single cable to camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled personalization with the PTZ1 camera. I have a TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a net router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either the included external power supply or for cable hook, using optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is 40 meters to power the camera for up to meters 328. Now over in the TriCaster, I have the PTZ1 camera select input 1. Now I come here to the PZ control. I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can focus. This was the iris and change the white balance. And then save as a preset in the camera, and then recall shot select. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, configuration page on a second computer. Now this you control cameras separately in your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets of the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek, using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with the production system or mixing application. Now this gives you a multi-camera production with only having run one single cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now I'm using NewTek TriCaster Mini. You can use an NDI-enabled video production or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to gigabit router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or single cable using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that powers up to meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the camera selected in input 1. Now down here, PTZ control tab, I can tilt, zoom, and change the focus as the iris and change the balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera and then call them in the shot selector. Now each of these camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this app, you can control cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on a computer, saved as pre-camera, and recalled from the system. Using a NewTek camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple, economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about the NewTek NDI video production system or application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-production with only having a single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. I'm using NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled production system or application PTZ. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit net router. There are two ways to power the camera, either with an external power supply or for cable hookup using a power over Ethernet injector. This is a 4 injector that will power the camera for meters or 300 feet. In the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected, put 1 down here to the PTZ control tab. I can pan, tilt, zoom, change the focus, as well as iris, and change the white balance. And set it all as a preset in the camera, and then read them in the shot selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not a production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use that configuration page on a second computer. Now with this, more cameras saved from your mixing system. Position and camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI on social media web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NDI PTZ camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of with only having one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, you can use any NDI-enabled production system or application with the PTZ1. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ1 connected to a gigabit network router. Now there's ways you can power the camera with the included power supply or single cable hookup using optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected input right down here, the PTZ control tab. I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, then recall in the selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control in live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. This setup can control cameras separately from mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to camera, and recall from the production system. Using the PTZ camera multi-camera production system allows an echo to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, newtek.com and for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. The NewTek NDI PTZ camera with video production system or mixing application. That's you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera, video, audio, remote control, catalyzed power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but any NDI enabled video production system with the PTZ camera. Both the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included power supply or vertical cable hookup using power Ethernet inject. This is a 40 injector to power the camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera input 1. Now, I'm here to the PTZ control tab to just pan, tilt, zoom, change the focus, as well as and change white balance. And then save it all as preset in the camera, and then recall in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved sets in the camera itself, not a production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. This setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple, economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with about the NewTek NDI camera with video production system or mixing application. Now, this is the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera, video, audio, control, television, and power. Now, I'm the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but the NDI-enabled video production system application with the PTZ camera. The TriCaster and PTZ camera connected to a network router. Now, two ways to power the camera, either with the external power supply or single hook, using an optional power over injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector with the camera up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera select input 1. Down to the PTZ control tab, I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change this, as well as iris and the white balance. And then it's a preset in the camera, and then recall the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control cameras separately from the mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as sets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. NewTek PTZ camera multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you using the NDI camera with the video production system application. Now, this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production, only having to run one network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now, I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI production system or application with the PTZ camera. I have both TriCaster and PTZ camera connected to a gigabit router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable using optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ select input 1. Now, when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, the iris, and then save as a preset in the camera and one select. These settings actually save presets in the camera itself and then the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can web configuration on a server. Now, this app can control cameras separately from the system. Position of cameras can be on the computer, save as preset camera, and call from the production system. Using the PTZ camera with the production system is an economic way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the NewTek NDI camera with a video production system or application. Now, this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single net cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, LED lights, and power. Now, using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ camera. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you power the camera, the included external power supply or for cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector with up to 100 or 308 feet. Now over in the TriCast Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected input. Now when I come down here to the PTZ tab, I pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as and change the white balance. And then set a preset in the camera in the shot select. Each of these cameras are actually set to presets in the camera itself, not options. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a computer. Now with this setup, you can control cameras separate from mix system, because other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then called from the production system. Using a new PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system is a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit .com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Rex also talks about using NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera, the video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera, only having to run one single app cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, light, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PT camera. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit net router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply, or for single hookup, you can optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that with the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected one. Now I come here to PTZ control tab, I just pan, zoom, so I get focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera and call them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, use the web configuration page on this computer. Now with this setup, you control your cameras separately from mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with a multi-production system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all project. For visit NDI Central on the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. You the NewTek NDI camera with a video system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of camera production with only to run one select cable each camera, video, audio, remote control, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. I both TriCast and the PTZ camera and the gigabit network router. There are two you can power with included external power supply, or for sync hookup using optional over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 320 feet. For the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera input. When I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can tilt, zoom, change the focus, as well as the iris, and change white balance. And then save all as pre-camera and put them in the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and be called from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. About using the NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable camera for video, audio, remote control, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster, but you can use any NDI video system or application with the camera, both the TriCaster and PTZ1 connected to the network router. Two ways you can power the camera, either the included external power supply for single hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector to power the camera up to 100 meters or 328. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected in input 1. Now I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And leave it all as a preset in the camera and recall in the shutter. Each of these camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on this computer. Now with this, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. And other camera adjustments made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central, social media, and the web. Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about NewTek NDI PTZ camera with a production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera. Video, audio, remote control, talents, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled production system or application, the PTZ1 camera, the TriCaster, and the PTZ1 camera connected to a network router. Now, there are two ways you can power them, either with the included power supply or cable using an optional power Ethernet injector. This 40-watt injector that will power the camera up meters 128 feet. Now, I have TZ1 selected for one. I come here to the control pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, and change the white balance. And then save as preset in camera, and then call them in the shot setter. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. Now, this control cameras separately for your mixing system. Another camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save preset the camera, and then recall the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce live videos for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI Central on media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. About using the NewTek NDI PZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having run one single network cable to each camera for video, remote control, lights, and power. Now, using the new TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-able video production system or application with the Z1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera with a gigabit network recorder. Now, there's two power either with the included external power supply or a single hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector with the camera up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the Z1 selected in input 1. I go down here to the PTZ control tab and adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as the iris and white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then call the shot selector. Now, each of these cameras are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, this setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as preset camera, and then recall the production system. Using the new PTZ Pro with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to produce live mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. I'll tell you about using the NDI PZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now, this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 4-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters per feet. For the Mini, I have these selected in input 1. Now, I come in here to PTZ tab. I just pan, tilt, zoom, change the focus, and change white balance. Then save preset the camera, and then call them in the shot. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you have even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a computer. Now, with this setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then called the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with multi-camera system offers a simple and economic way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. To tell you about using NDI PTZ camera with video production system or mixing application. Now, this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, remote control, lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini. You can use any enabled video production system application with camera. The TriCaster and PTZ1 can connect to a gigabit network. Now, there are two ways you power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for meters 3 feet. Now, over TriCaster Mini, I have the Z1 camera selected in input 1. Now, when I come to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, the iris, and change the white balance. And then set a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot light. Each of these cameras actually saved to presets the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then be called from the production system. The NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera system offers a simple and way to produce a live video mix for all projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look NDI Central on social media web. Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about the new AI camera video system mixing application. This is a multi-camera production with only having to run one single cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, LED lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI production system application with the camera. Both the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit router. That means you power the camera either with the included external supply or for single cable. You can now power over Ethernet injector. It's a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now over Caster Mini, I have the PTZ camera input. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can tilt, zoom, you can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as preset in the camera and put them in the shot selector. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved to set in the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want even a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled to the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to do live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with tips about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 with a video production system or application. This gives you the benefit of multi-camera, only having one single camera, video, audio, control, LED lights, and power. Using the NewTek Caster Mini, but you can use an NDI-enabled video production system or application with the one camera. I have both Caster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. There are two ways you can power the camera. There are included external power supply or for cable hook. It's optional over Ethernet injector. The camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over the Caster Mini, I have PTZ1 selected in one. Now when I'm down here to the I just tilt, zoom, change the focus, was the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, the camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production system is a simple and economical way to do live mix for all projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI social media and the web. Hi, Rex NewTek. To tell you about using NewTek NDI PTZ1 with the open or mixing plate. Now give you the benefit of multi-camera production. You have it run one single cable, video, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Using NewTek Caster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the Caster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you power the camera, either included external power supply or for single cable hookup, using an optional power over net injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the Caster Mini, I have the PTZ1 selected in input 1. Down here, the P control tab, I just tilt, zoom, so I change the focus, and the iris, and change balance. And then preset in the camera, and then recall shot selector. Each of these camera settings are saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the configuration page on the second computer. Now with this setup, you control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video application. This gives you the benefit of a multi-production with needing to run one single network cable to each camera, video, audio, control, LED lights, and power. Using the NewTek Caster Mini, you can use NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet. Now this is a 40-watt that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 28 feet. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected at 1. Come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, focus, and balance, and save the camera, and recall the selector. Now each of these camera settings are saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. For this setup, you can control your cameras separately from mixing system. Position adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look at NDI Central on the web. Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with the system or mixing it. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having stable camera for video, control, lights, and out. I'm using NewTek Caster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either we include a power supply or for single cable hookup using a power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ camera at 1. Now when I come down here to PTZ control tab, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so I change the focus, as well as the and change the white balance. And the preset in the camera, and recall them in the shot selector. These camera settings actually save presets in it, but if you want even more control during live production, you can use web configuration on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control cameras separately from your mixing. Position adjustment can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the new NewTek production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for Central on social and the Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. It's about using the NewTek NT1 with a video production system or mix application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use an NDI enabled video system action with the camera. I will TriCaster and PTZ connect to a gigabit network. Now there's a way you can power it, either with the included external power supply or single using power over there. 40 watt that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ selected in one. And I come here to the PTZ control tab and adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can focus, the iris, and change lightness. And then save all as preset in camera, and then call in the shot select. Now each of these camera settings are actually saved presets in itself, not in the production. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras from your mixing system. Position and camera adjustments can be made on the computer, save the preset of the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using a new camera with a multi-cam production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. Visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. To tell you using NewTek PTZ1 camera video production system mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and art. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now two ways you can power the camera, either with include external power supply or single hookup using an optional power or Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40 watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 308 feet. Now over TriCaster Mini, I have the camera selected in input 1. When I go down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the whiteness. And then as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. These camera settings are saved to presets in the camera in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixer. Position adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera system offers a simple, economical way to do a video mix for all sorts of projects. Visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Also about using the NewTek PTZ camera with a video system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having one single cable to camera for video, remote control, satellites, and power. Now using NewTek TriCaster Mini, you can use NDI-enabled video production system application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to the router. Now the power camera either included external power supply or single cable. Use power Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40 watt injector that will power the camera for 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera. Now when I come here to the PTZ control tab, pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as and make balance. And so I'll put that in the camera and then all the selector. These cameras are actually saved to presets in the camera, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from the mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economic way to do a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social and the web. With NewTek to tell you about using NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives you a multi-camera production, only having to run single each camera, audio, remote control, telex, and more. Now using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use an NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have a TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now this you can power the camera either with external or for single hookup using optional power injector. Now this is an injector that will power the camera for up to 100 to 320. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 selected in input 1. I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as the iris, and change balance. And then save all the preset camera and recall the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can web configuration page on a second computer. Now with that, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saved as presets to the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ camera process offers a simple and economic way to audio mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central and Media and the web. Today, use a NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system mixing application. This is the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera, video, remote control, television, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini. You can use any AI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included internal or a single cable hookup using an optional power Ethernet injector. This is a 40 injector with a camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected at 1. Now, down here to the PTZ tab, I can tilt, zoom, so I can focus, as well as iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as that in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Each of these camera settings actually save sets in camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want more control during live production, you can use the configuration page on a computer. With this, you can control camera separately or mix them. Position and adjust made on computer, save this piece of the camera, and recall from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with a camera system offers simple and economical way to reduce lighting for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single net cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally light, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster, but you can use any NDI-enabled video system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera to a gigabit net router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power supply or cable hookup, using an optional power over Ethernet injector with a 40 injector that will power the camera for up to 100 or 328 feet. Now in the TriCaster, I have the PTZ1 camera at input 1. Now when I come down here to PTZ control, it's pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset camera, and then call the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more controlling on the production, you can use the web configuration page on a computer. Now with setup, you can control your cameras separately for your mixing. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the PTZ1 camera with multi-camera production offers a simple and economically produced live videos for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and NDI Central and social media web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera, the video production or mixing application to the of camera production. Only had to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. Both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera can gigabit network route. There are two ways you power the camera, either with the included external power supply or for single hookup using an optional power or Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ camera selected input. Down here to the Z control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the balance. And save it all as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, the production system. If you want even more control during live, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. Now, with setup, you can control your camera from your mixing system. Position adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the camera with a multi-camera system offers a simple, economical way to video mix all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com. Look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek about using the NewTek AI PTZ1 camera with a production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. Now in the NewTek TriCaster Mini, you can use an NDI-enabled video production system with the PTZ camera, TriCaster, the PTZ connected gigabit router. Now, there are two ways you can power the either with an external power supply or for single hook using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now, down here to the PTZ control tab, I just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera and click the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings is saved to preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more controlling live production, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. You can control cameras separately mix them. Another camera can be on one computer, save sets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system, a simple and economic way to produce live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, control, light, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini. You can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera with the external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet inject. Now, this is a 40-watt inject. Power the camera for up to 100 meters of feet. Now, on the TriCaster, I have the one camera select input down here to the control tab. I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus and change the white balance. And it all is a preset in the camera, and then recall the selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on that computer. Now with this, you can control cameras separate from the system. Position and other camera adjustments may be made on one computer as presets to the camera and recall from the production system. The NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. To tell you using the NDI camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now gives you the benefit of camera production with only having to run one single network cable each camera for video, audio, remote control, light, and power. Now using the TriCaster Mini, you can use an NDI-enabled video production system application with the camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included external power or for single hookup using an optional power Ethernet inject. Now this 40-watt injector will power the camera for up to 100 meters to 28 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save all as a preset in the camera and recall the shot selector. Now, each camera setting actually saves to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Put in other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, save presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the new PTZ camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. To tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ1 camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having to run one single network to each camera for video, audio, control, light, and power. Now using NewTek TriCaster Mini, you can NDI video system with PTZ1 camera. Both TriCaster and PTZ1 connected to a gigabit router. Now there's ways you can power either with the included power supply or for single cable. You will power Ethernet inject. Now this is the camera for up to 100 meters, 3.8 feet. Now, on the TriCaster, I have the PTZ1 camera selected. Now, when I go down here to the PTZ control tab, I can tilt, zoom, so change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save all as a preset in the camera, and then recall the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved to presets in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, with that up, you can control your camera separately from your mixing system. Just made on the computer, save the presets to the camera, and recall them the production system. Using the new PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson with NewTek. Tell you about using the NDI PTZ1 with video production system or mixing application. This gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with having run one select cable each camera, video, audio, remote control, light, power. I'm using NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either the included external power supply or for single cable hookup using an optional power or Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 or 328 feet. Now with the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 cameras only input. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris and balance. And then save it as a preset in the camera, and then recall them in Doctor. Each of the camera settings are actually saved to preset camera itself, not production system. So if you have even more control during live production, you can use a web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the system. NewTek PTZ multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central, social media, and web. Rexel with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ camera with a video production system mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having to run one single network each camera for audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now I'm using the new TriCaster Mini. You can use any NDI-enabled video production system with the PTZ camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now, there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included extra power supply or for single hookup, you can power over Ethernet injector. This is a project of the camera for up to 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ input. Now, I'm down here to the PTZ input, and adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris, and change the white balance. And then save it all as a preset in the camera, and then read the shot selector. Each of these camera settings are actually saved to the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments be made on one computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. It's about using the NewTek PTZ application. Now, that gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production, only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, remote control, lights, and power. Now, I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, which is any AI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a network router. There are two ways you can power the camera, either with external power supply or for single cable hook, you can optional power or Ethernet injector. This is a 4-vector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, such the focus, as well as iris, and just the white balance. And then save a preset in the camera, and then call in the shutter. Each of these cameras are saved presets in the camera itself, not in the productions. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, you can control your camera separately from your mixing system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer. You just presets to the camera and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 multi-camera system, a simple and economical way to produce a live mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a video production system mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera production with only having one single network cable each camera for video, audio control, lights, and power. Now I'm NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with the included power supply or for single hook, an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is an injector that will power the camera up 100 meters, 128 feet. Now, over in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I'm here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I change the focus, as well as iris, and the white, and then save it all as a preset in the camera and recall them in the shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually saved sets in the camera itself, not in the production system. If you want even more control in live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with this setup, control your camera separately from the mixing system. And other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, saved as presets to the camera, and then recalled from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ1 camera with a multi-camera system offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and look for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Olson with NewTek to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ camera with a video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having to run one single net cable to each camera, audio, remote control, lights, and power. Now I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use the NDI-enabled video production system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now the two power the camera, either include an power supply or cable hookup, using a power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that powers the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now, over the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now I go down here to the PTZ control tab, adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can choose focus, iris, and change balance. And select the camera, and then call the selector. These camera settings are actually saved to presets in the not in the production system. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. You can control your camera from system. Additional accounts can be on the computer, save presets camera, and then recalled on the production system. Using the one camera production, also a simple way to produce video mix sorts of projects. For more, visit newtek.com and sell on media and the with NewTek to use the NIZ1 camera video print system or mixing application. That's you the benefit of a camera production with only having to run one sole net cable to each camera for video, audio, remote control, tally lights, and power. I'm using the tech like that. But using the enabled video production system or action with the PZ1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PZ camera connected to a gigabit router. For two ways you can power the with the internal power supply. For single clip, using an optional power injector. Now, this is a 4 watt will power camera meters or 320. And the TriCaster Mini D1 select input line that comes to the control tab. Zoom, focus, and this it all is upset in the camera and not select. These cameras actually sit in the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Set up cameras for system, save the preset camera, and then call from the using the Z1 camera multi-person on a simple camera to video mix for all sorts. For more, visit newtek.com and for actual media. Use NewTek PZ camera video mixing application. Now this gives you the ability to produce only having one single camera, video, audio, control, lights, and power. Now using NewTek Academy, you can use any enabled video production system or application. Z1 camera. I have a TriCaster and the camera connected with a bit and power. Now two-way power the camera, either with included external power supply or for single clip, using optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a watt injector for up to 100 meters or 20 feet. Over TriCaster Mini have BTZ1 camera selected input and BTZ camera with pen, build, zoom, skin focus, the iris, and white balance. Then install preset camera and then recall. Each camera set actually cameras not so you want even more controlling a production. You can use the second computer. Now with this setup, you control your camera separately from mix system and other camera adjustments can be on one computer, save preset camera, and call the system. Using the Z1 camera production for simple and accurate produce video all sorts more and for the central media and with NewTek. Tell you using the NewTek PZ camera with video production system or mixing application. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-camera with only having one single networkable camera for video, audio, control, lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek Mini, but using an AI-enabled video system or application with the Z1 camera. The TriCaster and the PZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either with an external power supply or single cable hookup using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt power camera for 200 meters through 28 feet. Over TriCaster Mini, I have the PZ1 camera connected in one. Now come in here to PZ control tab, can, tilt, zoom, and balance. Then you said in the camera, they got selected. Each is casing save presets in the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want even more control during live production, you can use the web configuration page on that computer. Now with this up, you control camera separately for your mix. Position other components can be made on one computer, save to the camera, and recall production system. Using NewTek PZ1 Cam multi-production system offers simple and economical way to do so via mix, all sorts of. For more, visit tech.com and for AI Central on social media. I also need to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PZ with the store mixation. That's the benefit of camera production with only one single each camera, remote control, tally light, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use the NDI-enabled video system or application with PZ1 camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera, either to include external power supply or for single control hookup, the optional power over Ethernet injector. Now, this is a 40-watt injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 28 feet. Now I have the camera selected one, PZ pen built, so I can change this, as well as the iris and change the weight balance, and then save as a camera, and then recall the selector. These things are to preset in the process. If you want more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on the computer. With this set, control your camera separately from the system. Addition other adjustment in one computer, save preset the camera, and then call from the NewTek Z1 camera with multi-camera system. Offers a simple and economical way to produce a live video mix, also projects. For more, visit newtek.com for AI on social media and the Rexol NewTek. Using the NDI camera with just one page. That's the benefit of camera with only having one network cable each camera for video, remote, power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini. Using NDI video production system application with the camera. I have a TriCaster PZ1 camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways to power the camera, either included power or single hook using an power over Ethernet injector. Say free injector will power the camera up 100 meters or 320 feet. Now over TriCaster Mini, I have PZ1 connected in on here to the PZ control tab, just pan, tilt, zoom, focus, as well as the iris and buttons. And it's also preset in there and it calls them out. Each of these cameras actually save preset in the camera itself, not production system. So if you want even more control during production, you can use the web conversion page on the second computer. With that, you can control your camera separate from your mixing system. Position other camera adjustments can be made on the computer, save this to them and called from the production system. Using the TZ camera with multi-camera system offers a simple and economical to produce a live video for all sorts of projects. More at newtek.com and look for NDI Central and the web. Rexol NewTek using NDI PZ1 camera with production system mixing application that gives you the benefit of multi-action, linking one single network to each camera, audio, motion, lights, and power. I'm using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use the NDI-enabled video system or application with PZ1 camera. Both the TriCaster and the PZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power the camera with the included supply or for single hookup using an optional power injector. Now this is the way to power the camera for 200 or 300 feet. Now in the Mini, I have PZ1 camera input line. I got to the PZ tab, I can tilt, zoom, change focus, as well and change balance. And then set camera, and then not select. Each camera actually resets in the camera itself. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now, setup, you control your cameras separately from your system. Position and adjustments can be made on one computer, saved as preset camera, and then called from the production system. Use new TD1 multi-production offers a simple and economical way to produce live images for all sorts of projects. For more, visit .com and look for AI control social media. To tell you about the new NDI camera with options number mixing application. Now there's the benefit of a multi-camera. Only had a one network cable for video, audio control, power, lights, and power. Like a new tech TriCamera, but you can use any NDI-enabled video production system or application PTZ camera. I have a TriCaster and the PT1 camera connected to a gig network router. There are two can power camera include a supply or single hook. You can power or even. Now this is a 40-watt camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ selected in input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can just the wrist, and use the wheels. Next, I'll use the camera and be called in the shot selector. Now each of these camera settings actually presets in none of them. So if you want to control during live, you can use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this app, you can control your camera separately from your system. Position and other camera adjustments can be made on one, saved as presets to the camera, and then be called in the person. Using the new Tech TZ camera with a multi-camera production system offers a simple and economical way to produce video and all sorts of projects. For more, visit .com and Central and so on. Hi, Rex Olson with Tech. Use Tech NDI-TZ1 camera with system or application. This is the multi-camera production with only having one single workable to each camera for video, audio, mobile, and power. I'm using new TriCaster Mini, but using NDI video production system with camera. I have TriCaster and the PZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two-way power camera, including external power supply or single hook. You can option power Ethernet injector. This is a 40-watt injector camera for 128 feet. Now over in the TriCaster PTZ1 camera, selected input 1. Now I'm here to PTZ1 camera, pan, tilt, zoom, so I change the wrist, and this all is a preset and recall. Now, each of the cameras are actually preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want even more during live, you can select your page on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mix system. Position other adjustments can be one computer, resets to the and then recall the system. Using the Tech TZ1 production system offers a technical way to produce video for all subjects. For visit Tech.com and from DSN on social media. Hi, Rex Olson with using new AI PTZ camera with video processing. Now gives a bit more camera with only hanging on a net cable to each camera, video, audio, mode control, light, and power. Now using the TriCaster Mini, but using the NDI-enabled production system application with PTZ camera. I have both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 connected to gigabit network route. Now there are two ways you can power camera, either with the included power supply or using power over network. A 40-watt power the camera for up to 100 meters or 320. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the one camera select one, color TT control, scan, tilt, zoom, so change the focus, so the iris, and change light, and also the camera and then outside. Now each of these cameras are really not consistent, but even more control. Use the web configuration page a second. With that, control your cameras from your system. Position and other adjustments can be made on the computer. Save just presets to the camera and then called for the production system. Use the TZ1 the moment production system for simple and do live for all sorts of projects. For visit.com and for social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about the NDI TZ camera, the video or mixing application. This gives you a multi-camera production with only having a local network, video, remote, television, power, not in TriCaster. When you need any NDI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ camera. I have TriCaster and TZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network. Now the two you can have camera, need external power supply or single hook using power or ether. Now this is a 4-watt power camera up to 208 feet. Now after Mini, I have TZ1 I can hear TV can tap and build, zoom, central focus, as I and choose the weekend. I say reset, yeah, and then all that. These cameras are actually saved not in the production system. So if you wanted more during live production, you use the web configuration page on a second computer. You can control your camera separately from your mix system. Position camera adjustments can be done on one computer, save just the camera, and recalled from the production system. Using the new PTZ with a camera system for simple and economical live video mix, all sorts of products. For more, visit .com and look at NDI social media web. Hi, roll with Tech about using the AI PT camera, the box image. That's the multi-camera production. Living run one single to camera, video, mobile, to power. Using to trust me, any video production or application with PT1 camera. I TriCaster and the T1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways to power camera, either the included external eye or single hookup using an optional power or injector. This is a 40-watt injector power camera up to 100 meters or 28 feet. Now we have PZ1 camera selected in input 1. When I clear the PZ control tab, just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, as well as the iris and bounce. Save it as a piece of camera. All each of these camera settings are actually saved in the camera itself in the production system. So if you roll during live production, you use the configuration page on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your camera using system. Position of the camera can be on one computer, just preset and then call from the system. Using the PTZ camera with production system offers a simple and economic way to live videos for all sorts of projects. For more, visit .com and NDI on social media and web. Hi, Rex Olson Tech use the NDI PTZ1 camera, video or mixing update. This gives you benefit a multi-camera with only having to run one single cable each camera for video, audio, control, lights, and power. Now I'm using the TriCaster, but using NDI video or app and PTZ1 camera. Both the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network. There are two ways you can power camera with external power supply for full camera, using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector with a power of up to 100 meters or 208 feet. Now, over TriCaster Mini, I have TZ1 selected input 1. Come down here, I can zoom, so I can change focus, as well as iris and angles. and set also set camera, then recall them to the camera settings gave the camera itself, not the system. So even more control in the configuration page on the computer. Now with this, you can control your camera separately from your mixing system. Position adjustments can be on computer, save the and recall the program. Using the new Tech PTZ cam with a more production system and economical way to live the project. For more, visit and NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Solitech. To use the Tech NDI PTZ camera with the custom mixing application. It gives you the benefit of only having one single word cable to each camera. Video, audio, remote control, LED lights, and power. I'm Tech TriCaster. You can use any video system or application, the PTZ camera. Both TriCaster and the PT1 camera into a gig network power. Choose your camera, either with including extra power or single control using a power from edge. They 40 to power camera for up to 100 meters, 320 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PT1 camera input line. When I come down here to the PT tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can focus as well as iris and bounce. Save all as preset in there, and then recall them in other. These settings save preset itself, not system. So if you want control during production, you can use the configuration page on the computer. With this setup, you can your camera separately from mix system. Position another camera just made in one computer, save this as camera, and then recall for them. Using the new PT cam with a multi-camera system offers a simple and economical way to produce a mix for all sorts of projects. For more, video stuff for NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson. It's about using the new PT1 camera production system or mix application to give you the benefit of multi-camera with only run one single camera, audio, motor, lights, and power. Now I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you NDI and system or application PT1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gig network route. There are two ways to power the camera. There are the included external power or for sync cable, using a support or Ethernet connector. Now this is a projector power camera up 100 meters or 88 feet. Or the TriCaster Mini have PTZ1 camera select an input on your PTZ. I can tilt, zoom, can change the iris and bounce, and then save it as preset in the camera and recall the shot slider. Camera settings are actually saved to preset itself in the productions. So if you want even more control during a production, you can use the web configuration page on a second computer. Now with that, you can control cameras separately from system. Send the camera adjustments on one computer, save just the camera, and then recall for the production system. Using the new camera with a multi-camera production system for simple economical reduce live films all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtech.com and look for NDI Central on social and Using the PT1 camera with the options match gives you the benefit of a multi-camera only having to run one single cable each camera. Video, control, LED, and power. Using the camera, but use enable the production system application with PT camera. I will TriCaster and the PTZ connect gigabit and choose power cam either with inclusive power supply or thin cable hookup using optional power overhead inject. So you would power for up to 100 meters, 300 feet. Now over in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected and on down here PTZ control tab. I can tilt, zoom, so change focus, as well as the iris and change weight. And save a preset in the camera and in the select. These cameras are actually saved preset in the camera stuff in the productions. So if you want even more control in the live, you can use the configure page on the computer. This setup control camera separately from your system. Some adjustments can be made in the computer. It just says camera and from the production. Using the Tech PTZ camera with a production is a simple and economical way to live video mix all sorts of products. For visit tech.com and social media. Hi, Rex Olson with new using the new PT1 camera, the video system mixing occasion. I can benefit multi-camera with only one single cable to chamfer for video, audio, lights, and power. I'm using the TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI-enabled video store application with PT1 camera. I have both TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connected to a network power. For two ways power, either included external power supply or for single hookup using a power injector. This is 4-projector camera for 200 meters or 20 feet. With TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ camera set input into the PTZ tab. Just pan, tilt, zoom, I change focus, as well as the iris and whites, and then select that recall the shot selector. Each of these cameras are actually presets in the production system. So controlling production, you can use a configuration page on a computer. Now with that, you control your camera separately from the system. Position and other camera adjustments be made one save the camera and call for the production system. Using the new camera with multi-camera production system is a simple, economical way to do this for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtech.com and look into Central on social media and the web. Hi, with NewTech. Today, using NewTech NDI PT1 with video production or mixing application. This is the benefit of a multi-production with only having to run one single network cable to each camera for video, audio, control, lights, and power. NewTech TriCaster. You can use an NDI production system application with one camera, TriCaster, and PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are ways you can the camera, either with included supply or cable hook using power or Ethernet injector. This is a 40 watt with 200 meters or 328 feet. Now over here, you have the PTZ camera selected in one. When I got new PTZ can pan, tilt, zoom, change the focus, as well as the iris and then say all preset camera and record the shot. These cameras are preset in the camera. So if you have even more control during production, you can use web configuration on a second computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras from your system. Position cameras can be on one computer. Save this presets and recall on the system. Using the NewTech PT1 camera multi-camera system offers a simple and economical to produce live in all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtech.com and NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, so to tell you about using the NewTech PTZ camera with the amplification. That's the benefit of with one header on one level, for audio, control, and power. I'm using TriCaster Mini, but you can use any NDI video system or application with PTZ1. I have both TriCaster and PTZ1 camera connect to a network route. I use your power either with the external power supply or cable hookup using an optional power head. This is a 40 meter, 100 meters or 320 feet. Now, on the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ selected and input into the PTZ control. I can tilt, zoom, focus, as well as iris and change bound. Then the preset and call the shot leg. It's in camera off productions. So if you want to control my production, you can still be on a single computer. With this, you can suddenly for your mixing system. Position of camera adjustments can be made on one computer, save as presets to the camera, and then recall the production system. You can take PTZ camera with a multi-camera production system, offers an economic way to do live video mix all sorts of projects. For visit new.com and send on the media and the web. I will tell you about NDI-1 camera production warning. See the run one video from control light. I'm using NewTek Procaster Mini. Any NDI video production system application. I Procaster and PTZ camera connect to a gigabit net router. Two in power camera with the power supply or for single up using an power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a feeble injector that will power the camera for up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now Procaster Mini, I have PTZ selected and input PTZ control can build, zoom, focus, iris, and change whites. Then enable the camera and then call in the shot sector. Each of these settings are actually set to preset in the camera itself, not in the production system. So if you want more control, you can use the configuration page of the computer. Now with that, you can trim cameras from the system. Present other camera adjustments can be made on one computer. Set presets to the camera and then from the production system. PTZ1 camera system offers a simple and way to bring a video mix also projects. Visit new.com, NDI Central, social media, and web. NewTek NDI-1 camera video system or solution. See the benefit of a multi-camera having run one solar cable each camera for video control, LS, and power. Using the NewTek Procaster Mini, any enabled production system or application with the PTZ camera and the PTZ1 camera connect to a gigabit network router. Ways you can power the camera either with the clicker power supply or tape roll up. You can power either. That will power for hundreds or 228 feet. In the Procaster, I have PTZ1 camera selected on PTZ camera. Tilt, zoom, and they all set the camera slider. Each of these camera settings sets cameras in the production system. So if you want even control direction, you can now you can control for mix system adjustment beyond one camera, sets camera, and then called from the system. You PTZ1 camera multi-camera production system offers a economical way for live video mix all over the project or and NDI Central on social media. Olson with NewTek to tell you about using NewTek NDI PTZ camera with a video production system mixing application. Now this is the benefit of a multi-camera production with only run one single network to each camera for video, remote control, LS, and power. Using the NewTek but using AI-enabled video production system or application with PTZ1, I Procaster and PTZ camera connected to a gigabit network router. There are two ways you get for camera, either with the included external power supply or for single up using an optional power Ethernet injector. Let's say 40-watt injector that will power the camera up to 100 meters or 328 feet. Now in the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ1 camera selected in input 1. Now when I come down to the PTZ control tab, I can just pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, iris, and lights, and set in the camera and recall them shot selector. Now these things actually the camera itself, not the production system. So if you want during a live production, use the web configuration page on the second computer. Now with this up, you can control several system, position other adjustments made on computer, set camera, and then recall from the production system. Using the NewTek PTZ camera with a multi-camera production system offers simple and produce live mix all sorts of products. Or visit NewTek.com and NDI Central on social media and the web. Hi, Rex Olson to tell you about using the NewTek NDI PTZ camera, the video system or application. Now this gives you the multi-camera only finger on one select cable for video, mobile, LS, and power. I'm using NewTek Tri using enabled video system or application with PTZ camera, the TriCaster, and the PTZ camera connect to a network router. Now there's either external supply or cable using an optional power over Ethernet injector. This is a free injector that will power the camera to meters, 300 feet. With the TriCaster Mini, I have the PTZ input 1. Now when I come here to the PTZ control tab, I can build, zoom, change focus, iris, and white balance. Then save it all as a preset camera and call the shot select. These are actually sets in not a production system, more control during production. You can use web configuration on the computer. With this setup, control your camera with your system. Push other adjustment to the computer, save sets to the camera, and recall from the system. Using PTZ1 camera is a simple and economical way to build live mix for all sorts of more. Visit NewTek.com and for NDI Central media web. NewTek. About the NewTek NDI PTZ camera video production system. This is a multi-camera production. We have on one syllable to each camera. Video, remote roll, lights, and power. I'm using TriCaster, but using any AI-enabled video production system or application, the PTZ camera. I have TriCaster and the PTZ camera connected to a gigabit router. Now there are two ways you can either include internal power or hook up using power Ethernet jack. This is 4 watts up 120. Now over the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ1 camera select and input 1. When I come here to PTZ, I can pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus as well as these and white balance. And then save it all as a preset camera and recall them in the shot site. Now each camera setting is in the system. So if you want even more during all production, it's the web configuration page on the computer. With this setup, you can control your cameras separately from your mixing system. Position adjustments made on one computer, save it to the camera, and then recall from the production system. You need to camera with camera production offers a simple way to produce live videos for all sorts of projects. For more, visit NewTek.com and we're NDI Central on social media. Hi, Rex on NewTek. Tell about the NDI PTZ1 camera with 4 mix application. That's a multi-camera production with only having one single level each camera. Video, audio, remote control, power. Not using the NewTek TriCaster Mini, but you can use the AI video production system with the PTZ camera. Both the TriCaster and camera connect to a network. The two camera. They're with external power supply or cable hook using an optional power over Ethernet injector. Now this is a 40-watt injector that works camera or 328. Now in the TriCaster Mini, I have PTZ selected in input 1. Now I come here to the PTZ control tab, pan, tilt, zoom, so I can focus, and change the white. Save all as preset camera. Call them in the shot selector. Each of these cameras actually set in itself, none of them. So you even more control during. You can use the information on that computer. Now with this setup, you can control cameras from your mixing system. Addition and other camera adjustments can be made on one computer, set presets to the camera, and then recall the system. Use a new PT camera production software for simple and economic way to produce a video mix. Also, project 4 is at new.com. Look for control also web. Rex Olson using new AI camera, the video system kit. Now this gives you the benefit of multi-camera production with only having one single enable to each camera for video, remote control, and power. Now using new tech, using AI video or application with the camera, iCaster and the PTZ camera connected network. Now that you can power the camera either with a power slot, hook up, use a power internet injector, was able to power the camera for 200 or 20. Now we're going to make one camera select the input one. When I come heat tab, I can tilt, zoom, so I can focus, select iris, and downs, and then save it all as a preset in the camera, and we call them a shot selector. Now, each of these camera settings are actually preset itself, not a production. So you can control production. You can use configuration page second computer setup. You control your camera from your mixing system. Because other camera adjustments get on one computer, save presets to them, and then recall from the production. You get PTZ camera, multi-camera persons, simple, and can be by more track. Or is it on social media and web. Rex Olson new tech to using new AI camera with your communication. Now this is the 50 camera button with only hanging on one single cable to each camera, video, audio, control, and power. Academy. You can use any AI-enabled video system or application with the PTZ1 camera. I have the TriCaster and the PTZ1 camera connect to a network. You can camera either with the included extra pipe or a cable using an output injector. This is 40 lighter camera to 103.8 feet. Our caster may have an input 1. Now when I come down here to the PTZ control tab, I can adjust pan, tilt, zoom, so I can change the focus, and change the white balance. And then save it preset in the camera, and then recall in the shot layer. Each of these camera settings actually preset in the camera itself, in the production system. So if you want even more during election, you can configure your page on computer. Now with this, you can control cameras from your mixing system. And other things can be made on one computer, etc. And then the production system. Using the PTZ camera with camera production is an economic way to produce a video mix for all sorts of projects. For more, visit newtech.com and NDI Central on social media and the Hi, Rex Olson new tech. Tell you how to use the NDI PTZ1 camera with the production system or mixing machine. Now this gives you the benefit of a multi-production with only one single working each camera, audio, remote control, taillights, and I'm using a Trap Mini, any enabled system with PTZ camera. I will TriCaster and the PTZ camera to a gig network. There are two ways to power camera, either the included external power supply or first cable hookup, using an option power over Ethernet. Let's say free wind jacker that will power the camera for up to 2 years or 10 feet. Now open the TriCaster Mini, I have one camera, select an input 1. Now I come down here, PTZ control tab, I can adjust zoom, change the focus, as the artist, and save all the preset in the camera, and then not sector. Each camera is actually itself, not in the production system. So if you want more during a lockdown, you can set configuration each sector. With this setup, you control your cameras from the system. Position camera adjustment can be made one computer, this preset, and then recall from the system. Use the new PTZ camera with camera system. Simple and economical way to love the mix for all sorts. And look at media and I recommend to tell you about the new PTZ1 camera with the production. Other than that, multi-camera only on one single camera, audio, remote control, taillights, and power. Now using the new tech Mini. You can use an AI-enabled vision system application with PTZ camera. I both the PTZ camera to a network route. Two-way camera, either we include internal or first control using optional port Ethernet injector. This is 40 watt or 5 control. I try to make a PTZ what they want here to the PTZ controls. I can pan, tip, zoom, and change the focus, iris, and white ones. And so is in the camera. Then we'll each setting actually says that without the production. So if you want even more control production, you use a configuration page computer. This you can control your position and camera and then call them. Use PTZ multi-production for simple and economic way to produce something for all subjects. More newtech.com for NDI Central on social media and web. Also using the AI camera, the doctor indicate only hang one single camera, video, remote control, taillights, and power. Now using the you can use any enabled person system application with your camera. Both the PTZ1 camera connected to a gigabit network router. Now there are two ways you can power camera, either with included power or for single hookup using power over the jack. Let's say 4 jack to camera to 100 or 320. Now in the term Mini, I have PTZ1 camera input 1. Come to the PTZ control, I just can tilt, zoom, you can change the focus, as well as and change the whites. And then they've also reset and then recall the selector. The camera settings actually saved in the camera itself, not in the person. So if you want even more control during a live production, you can web configure page on second. Now with the setup, control your camera setting system. Position and camera be made on one computer. Save the camera. Recall the system. Using the PTZ1 camera with camera system for simple and way to select video for all subjects. For more tech.com and for AI with new tell you about the new tech NDI PTZ1 camera video system or mixing. This gives you benefit of multi-camera with only to run one single working camera for video, audio, remote control, taillights, and power. Now I'm using the new tech but you can NDI enabled video system or